Good afternoon. My name is Karen Reyes, and today I'll be talking about the pandemic that's going on right now, which is the COVID-19. In 1918, influenza was one of the biggest things that went on during the century, and nothing was able to beat it until now in 2020 with the COVID-19. Everywhere around the world, this crisis has been on the news everywhere you can think of. Individuals have been affected economically and with their health as well. There's been many cases in the United States, Italy, China, etc. Of most countries you can think of, most likely they'll be infected. According to the Worldometer, approximately 2.3 million people in the United States are infected with this. And that's not everyone, since there's not enough tests for everyone to get tested. This is not even the amount of number of people are actually affected by this virus. The more people that are gathering around, this will end up getting spread to their loved ones, to the community, and many others who you can think of. But this can also be as a PEMDAS, since if you don't go out and you don't expose yourself, most likely you won't infect those who you love in your community. So it's better to stay inside. Being a currently unemployed person, this has made me and my family suffer, since we all take part in our house where we get to pay stuff. This also can apply to many other people who are going through the same thing as I am. I have a lot of friends who actually have ended up getting infected because of this, because again, they're not self-quarantining and they're going out in crowds when the government told them not to. This results in many others to also suffer, not only them and their family, but the community is also suffering. In order to better understand what is going on with this, there'll be background information that will be told as I speak, and how you can better yourself and the community, and how to stay clean as you can. So let us go through, and we will be talking about how the virus travels down our body, how we can prevent from getting this through our system, and what is the damage that's actually caused by this. There's a lot of how viruses form, but I will make this as short as possible. There's a whole scientific research of how the virus was formed and where it came from, but I will be talking about how it goes through the body. Basically, the virus will hijack our body and it will take over. According to New York Times, a past Yale graduate who specialized in biology with a lot of parasites wrote an article talking about this. So I will, like I said, I will break it down and describe it to you. There's not only one single coronavirus in this world, but there's actually multiple of them. But the two that's been affecting us right now that created this pandemic, they're called the SARS and MERS. These are, again, the two viruses that have made the outbreak. There's various steps of how the virus goes through the body, but I will first start by showing you a visual of how the virus looks, in case if some of y'all did not know how it looked. It has spike proteins, which are all around, and it also has lipids and proteins. The spike proteins surround the cell, so this will actually go in the body and it will mimic a receptor, and it will bind with the enzyme called AC2. AC2 stands for agglutinin converting enzyme 2. The enzyme brings proteins to the lungs, arteries, kidneys, intestines, and controls the blood pressure. The coronavirus will mimic the shape and it will bind with it. The result is that the virus is now in the body. Once the virus is successfully in the body, it will release membranes that will turn proteins into RNA. Since RNA contains coding for the enzymes, it will bind with genetic material that is just normal for your body and is healthy, not affected, and it will bind with it, creating now cells with DNA that now have COVID-19. Furthermore, afterwards, it will end up going into mitosis, and it will have the same exact replica of the cell, so now it's actually, again, like I said, it's infected. This will end up making your body have trouble with breathing, your fever will rise, and lungs will slowly start to collapse until you eventually will die. Furthermore, to attaching to individuals, this is something that can actually be prevented. There's several ways you can stop the contamination from happening. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, the best way to prevent this is from staying at your own home. There's many other ways that you can prevent it. By washing your hands, it can destroy the virus by wedging itself to the membrane of the virus, and this will actually destroy it. So soap does actually help a lot. So please wash your hands. Covering your mouth. The virus is spread through your nose and mouth by tiny microscopic droplets that you actually can't see at all, only again through a microscope. So it's good if you wear something that's gonna cover your mouth. Cleaning the house often is quite recommended because the virus can actually last up to 5 days in your clothes, and you never know. This is why usually after 2 weeks you notice the symptoms. So by being more clean and constantly cleaning your house, it's gonna help a lot. In addition, these methods can save many lives around the community and in many parts of the world. Everyone should take their part, and not just only one person, but you as well should take part of this so you can save others, including yourself. The next thing individuals can relate to is the damage that it has caused in society. Society has been actually very, very impacted by what's going on. According to the KSAN News, it's been reported that in Texas, the unemployment has gone up by 4.4%, which means it's more than 7 million people who have no jobs at the moment. Because of this problem, there's many like me who have no jobs and are suffering at the moment. Within a month, this has increased. The last time this has happened was in January 1975, so that's a huge gap, and now and within a month this happened. Other than unemployment, people have been suffering to survive because of selfishness of other people. There's not enough water for people to have, and also babies are actually quite suffering because of this, since people are stocking up their stuff because you never know when this is going to be over. They don't leave enough for other infants, and they can also end up dying just because they're not able to survive properly. Besides limited supplies for essentials and all that, they have limited supply of who actually gets to use the respiratory machine so they can breathe normally. This is very controversial since they always choose the elderly people since they get sick first, and they leave the young ones to, get better by themselves by just medication. But actually they need the respiratory thing so they can breathe, because usually COVID-19 will attack the respiratory system more than any other system. So be aware of your surroundings so you won't get sick at all. Today, many people continue to suffer because of the virus. As little as it can destroy our daily life furthermore for many months to come. As months go by increasing it, it can again, sorry, I repeated myself. It can destroy our daily lives. So please make sure to stay indoors so this can go away eventually. And I hope this information helped many who didn't know how this went in your body. So thank you for listening to my speech.